The sun hung low over the rolling hills of southern France, casting a golden hue across the vineyards and quaint villages. Inside a small passenger plane, laughter mingled with the hum of engines as a group of friends made their way to a weekend getaway. They were a motley crew, each with stories woven together by years of friendship and shared adventures. As the plane soared higher, they snapped photos, capturing the vibrant landscape below. Among them was Elena, the adventurous spirit, her fingers dancing over her camera as she chronicled every moment. Next to her sat Marco, the jokester, who filled the cabin with laughter, recounting tales of their misadventures over the years. In the back, Sarah and Leo shared whispered secrets, their hands entwined, a budding romance blossoming in the confines of the aircraft. But as they crossed the border into Spain, a low rumble pierced the cheerful chatter. The plane shuddered, a sudden turbulence that sent a jolt of unease through the cabin. Elena exchanged a worried glance with Marco, who attempted to mask his concern with a grin, but his eyes betrayed him. The flight attendants moved with practiced calm, reassuring passengers as the pilots worked diligently in the cockpit. Then, without warning, a violent shudder rocked the plane. The lights flickered, and the cabin was momentarily bathed in a harsh red glow. Panic spread like wildfire. Elena's heart raced as she clutched her camera, the weight of it grounding her in the chaos. The plane began to descend, faster than any of them could have anticipated. "Brace for impact!" The voice of the captain crackled over the intercom, but the words felt surreal, almost detached from reality. Elena looked around, her friends' faces a mix of fear and determination. They exchanged glances, a silent promise to stick together no matter what. The plane pitched and rolled, the screams of passengers drowning out the whine of engines. With a bone-rattling thud, they crashed through the treetops, the world outside a blur of green and brown, before finally slamming into the ground with a deafening crash. The impact felt like a bomb detonating, and everything went dark. Elena awoke to the smell of smoke and the sound of distant sirens. Confusion clouded her mind, but instinct kicked in. She unbuckled her seatbelt and stumbled into the wreckage. The cabin was a twisted maze of metal and debris, but she could hear voices, familiar, urgent. "Marco! Sarah! Leo!" she shouted, her voice hoarse and trembling. The smoke was thick, making it hard to breathe, but she pushed through, driven by a desperate need to find them. "Here!" Marco's voice broke through the haze and she followed it, heart racing. She found him pinned beneath a piece of the ceiling, his face pale but alive. "Elena, help!" With all her strength, she tugged at the metal until it shifted just enough for him to wriggle free. They gasped for air, their eyes meeting with a mix of relief and fear. "Where's Sarah and Leo?" Elena asked, panic rising in her chest again. "I don't know," Marco replied, urgency in his voice. "We have to find them." Together they navigated through the wreckage, calling out names and listening for replies. The sounds of sirens grew closer, the echoing wails reminding them that rescue was on the way, but time felt like it was slipping away. The world outside was a chaotic blur, filled with first responders and the distant thud of helicopters. Finally, they found Sarah. She was sitting against the remnants of a wing, Leo cradling her arm, which was bleeding but not life-threatening. Relief washed over Elena as she rushed to them, pulling Sarah into a tight embrace. "We're here. We're okay," she cried, her voice trembling with emotion. As they huddled together, Marco checked the surroundings, ensuring they were safe. They could hear the voices of rescuers drawing nearer, and for the first time since the crash, hope flickered in their hearts. They were battered and bruised, but alive. Moments later, the first responders reached them, rushing to assess injuries and lead them away from the wreckage. As they were pulled into the daylight, the sun broke through the clouds, illuminating the chaos behind them. Elena looked at her friends, feeling a surge of gratitude mixed with fear. They had faced the abyss together, and against all odds, they had survived. As they were led to safety, the bond forged in that harrowing moment became unbreakable, a testament to the resilience of their friendship. In the days that followed, as they recovered and shared their stories with the world, Elena realized that while the crash had changed them, it had also deepened their connection. They had faced the unimaginable and emerged stronger, their adventures far from over.